Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about why bourbon became a political pawn. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Darren McElroy, Kathy Kuhl, and Jeff Andreezy.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey y'all.
Hello. Hey everyone.
Hello. So yeah, we're going to talk about bourbon caught in the crossfire between two fighting countries. Most notably, I mean, there's more than just the U.S. and Canada fighting it out over tariffs, and we're not going to get political. I don't want to venture off into that at all. So we'll keep it to just why we think that is utilized. I mean, there's a lot of items that go back and forth between the two countries, but bourbon has been selected out, so we'll talk about that. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Beka said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Beka?
Yes, so I wanted to know how willing to be convenienced versus your pocketbook you're willing to do. And what I mean by that is I bought this little charcuterie that looks very nice. It was put together at the grocery store today.
Yes.
I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 pieces of cheese in here. They put in some apricots. There's a little cup here with some walnuts in it.
Okay.
There was fig spread in it.
Sure.
And that's it. That's all it is.
No,
it looks
no grapes?
nice. Huh?
No grapes?
No grapes. There were some with grapes, but I went with the apricot one.
Okay.
But I spent $9 on this.
$9.
$9.
Nine
and I looked
absences.
at it, and there
Nine
were
school absences.
Nine times.
9 times.
Yes.
Darren has no idea what we're even doing right now.
Nope.
It's a little Ferris Bueller throwback.
Oh.
That's fair.
what I spent on this versus what it's actually worth,
Right.
and like, could I have put this together myself and just had 10 of these for the entire, for the next week?
Right.
Yeah, like I could have bought the thing of
Sure.
of the 2 different cheeses for probably like, I don't know, $7 for each like little wheel or block, whatever they come in.
Yes.
I could have bought a bag of walnuts for probably, I don't know, $6. Apricots are probably like $4 for a bag. And then the little fig spread is like, I don't know, probably 50 cents.
Sure. A little fig spread.
But instead I decided to spend $9 on convenience.
9.
9. And I just want to know how willing you guys are to be convenienced versus inconvenienced when it
Right.
comes to the money side of it too. I mean, like, there were bigger ones, and I have some company coming this week, and there was one that was really big and really beautiful. It was $80, and I was like, I cannot do that. That's insane. I could make
Right.
this myself.
Right.
And then there was one that was like $40. That was okay, but I was like, there wasn't the stuff on it. I didn't love everything on it, so it felt like a waste of money because if I was to build my own, I would have stuff that I actually like on it.
Right.
$9 felt okay.
I think on a one-off purchase, the $9 isn't bad. And the reason for that is, yes, you could have bought all those ingredients, but who wants to have 7 or 8 days in a row of eating that exact same cheese combination? So it's not only the convenience of them doing that, it's also the convenience of not having to buy the other ingredients and then wasting it or having to eat it the same day. So I think as a one-off, fine. If you're having a party or something like that, yeah, then I think you definitely want to buy the individual ingredients and do it yourself.
When I have a party, I do it myself. I always
Right.
make a big, because it's way cheaper to just chop up the cheese and roll up some meat yourself. Like I also enjoy doing that for a large party, but it is because of the fact that I'm getting rid of everything all at once.
Yeah. So I think you're good here. Even though I like to watch the bottom line, I think you get a pass on this one. I think it's a smart move because there's not the waste that you might get with the other option. So you're okay. Well, you're okay. It doesn't ruin your retirement.
What is
retire
the
on time.
highest amount that you'll spend on convenience?
Oh my word!
Yeah.
That depends because
Like if you can do it yourself versus convenience, like what?
Oh, well, I
I
guess
could
I almost have
change
no
the oil
limits.
myself, but I don't.
Yeah, there you go. This is true.
I don't know. I go
That's
for the
$20.
convenience when I'm traveling. So I went down to balmy South Dakota this weekend.
Oh man,
And I had to
Retirement spots.
swing into a gas station and pick
Bermuda
up
shorts
something for
on.
breakfast and something on the way back here, and a slice of pizza and a little cup of grapes and a iced tea. I mean a Diet Coke, and it's it's like $15 for like just a little bit of stuff. It's only when I'm traveling. It's just all that stuff is so expensive.
Well, convenience stores have seized the day when it comes to the economy and prices going up. They're just like, oh yeah, nothing we can do here. Now they think they're the food stand inside a stadium. They're like, oh, we'll just raise our prices where we got the captive audience thing. So
Right.
Convenience stores are ridiculous.
But everyone said that. Let's just say back in the day, Steve, everyone said that too, right? It was expensive then, and it stays expensive.
It seemed like I paid 99 cents for a bag, the big grab of Frito-Lays for like 25 years, and now they're like $4.99 for the big grab.
That could be.
Chips have gone up.
Yeah. So
So my favorite Far Side comic is the one where there's a little kid standing at the counter at a gas station, and the shelves are all 10 feet up, and it's called Inconvenience Store.
yes. You end up paying in life for a lot of inconvenience. I mean, there's things where it's a weird thing because I'll draw the line on the dollar amount is less of a factor versus the individual things, like ordering a pizza. The convenience is getting it delivered to you, which I could. Plenty of options to do that, but there's never a time. We don't get pizza delivered. The only time we got pizza delivered here was when I had a kid old enough who could order pizza herself and get it delivered and pay for it through the app. And that's the only pizza delivery guy that's ever been here. We don't. We drive out and go get our pizza because we don't want to pay the convenience fee of that and then the unknown of how many stops are they making before they get here and stuff like that. So
Right.
Yeah. So it varies. I just have to say my official answer for Beka is it varies, and you assess on each individual transaction. So like I said on that one, the one that you got today, you're good. But there could be other things where you're spending less money. Where I'll be like, get an iced tea at a restaurant when you can just get water. That's for $5. That's would be an example of something you don't want to spend. Yeah, you got to draw the line. There.
Not speaking from experience, though.
You draw the line right there. Yeah. Well, so that's it.
So I think again, it's how everything that's been going on that day. Sometimes it's worth it for the delivery fee if like you've had a long day or if you're a little drunk and you need some food, right?
Sure.
It's worth it.
That's a good idea if you've been drinking. I agree with that.
Yes. But like the charcuterie thing. I'm a big charcuterie fan. Salami and cheese are my two favorite food groups. So I have realized in the past that those single serve boards look like a good idea, but I am much happier if I just buy 2 pounds of salami and sit there and eat that. Like that is what I really want out of that package is just salami. And I've kind of realized that that's the way I go about things, either salami, summer sausage, whatever. And so I'll just get the whole log and cut it up or eat it as a log. And it's not the
biting out of it
thing. It's just that I want more meat.
Okay.
It comes down to.
That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Okay.
I think your $9 purchase is fine. I feel like here it would be 12. I think
actually
you would
seemed
charge
really cheap.
12 here.
I was actually surprised at the price.
Like
of it.
when
I
you
looked
said
at it and
9, I
was
thought that
like,
was low.
9's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
9.
if it would have been 12, I might have said
Might
no.
have thought twice. Look at Dean. He's like,
Dean?
that was a good deal.
Yeah.
That was a great deal.
It's like, yeah.
Let's do these more often.
The convenience for Dean is
So I'll share that. Okay, so I mentioned I went down to South Dakota. So on the way down, I bought a small cup of grapes for $5.99. I'm thinking this is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Well, on the way back, I stopped somewhere else, and they had a bigger cup for $4.49. I thought I scored a deal.
And it was 4 more grapes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is
he's
one
high
thing
fiving.
that is one convenience thing that I have a problem with is buying the pre-cut fruit in the store. Because I'm like, damn, I can just get my watermelon for it's already cut up for $5.
Right.
And then the watermelon itself, that is actually an entire watermelon as opposed to like 4 slices, is also $5.
Yeah.
Or the pineapple, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it! That's one I cannot spend the money on
Yeah.
because I'm like, I can just cut up a watermelon, and I want to eat a bunch of watermelon, and it's fresher if I cut it up.
Right.
That's one of them that I do kind of draw the line at.
That's
'Cause I'm like, I can cut up my own watermelon and my own.
Sandy Akeley was big into this. This is all stuff she preached as growing up. Very cheap. My mom, very, very cheap. We, like I said, I never was allowed to have American cheese until I was old enough to buy American cheese by myself because that's an added step. You're paying them to wrap that. Here, I'll get you. You want a piece of American cheese? I'll get it for you. You pull out the Velveeta and get that little thing with the wire, and slice off thin. There's a piece of American cheese for you.
And it always left like the taper at the end.
Right.
That weird thing.
Yeah.
Big fat foot at the bottom.
Yeah, so my mom wouldn't allow us to have that, even though Stephen Doyle next door, he got the American cheese. And I don't think his parents were doing as good as mine, but he was allowed to have the full-on American cheese. Yeah, I didn't.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, I had to have the Velveeta, which we had anyway. And my mom was like, well, it says sometimes it's Velveeta, sometimes it's American cheese. In my house, it just depends on what you're asking for. Yeah. So
I feel like the American cheese slices are cheaper than a block of Velveeta, though. Like, not even close.
Well, my mom looks at the amount of machinery processing that has to happen to bring it to you, and then she
per ounce calculation.
Yeah, we always got the big block too. We weren't allowed to get the little half block, even though I thought that'd be working something. No, we always had the big one, and then we'd have to keep that until that thing was gone. So
you could trim off those little corners that got all dark and hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to do some of that. And like I said, Kathy gets everything. Yeah. That little track at the bottom that stays on there. So
the only fruit I think being pre-cut up is acceptable, and it's just because they're so awful. Pomegranates. Like getting into a pomegranate and eating a pomegranate is not easy.
I have to disagree with you. I agree that it's difficult. That they are difficult. I do agree with that fact.
What about a mango? That's tough to get into. Will you ever fucking cut a mango?
Mangoes are horrible.
Yeah.
The pomegranate is tough because it is a pain, but I will say this, if you don't have there's never a time at which I'm in a rush to eat a pomegranate. I'm not like, God damn it, I need this pomegranate now.
I'm like, ooh, pomegranate. I love pomegranate. I need it now.
And so I find it oddly therapeutic to sit there and slowly peel it all open. And get out all of the little pomegranate seeds.
Right.
Yeah.
Just beat the crap out of the backside with a spoon. They just fall right out.
Which also works. But I like to kind of sit there and like very meticulously like just take them all out. And it's a little bit of a psychotic thing maybe, but I think it's kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard the spoon thing. I might have to give that one a try.
Yeah, you just like chop it in half and try to like push it and you just knock it around.
Pound on it. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Well, there's a look at inconvenience and convenience. What we're willing to spend on that. So there you go. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We'll start with Jeff. Jeff, what do you got there?
Hey, I have my first bottle of Barrel Strength Smoke Wagon.
Okay. All right. Congratulations.
I don't know. Give it a try. Well, there was no cork pop whatsoever.
No, it seemed loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get that in South Dakota? Balmy,
I
South
did
Dakota?
not. But
okay. Gotcha. All
good
right.
thing I didn't tip it over. It might have fallen right out.
Yeah. KK, you're next.
Since this is a what is happening in politics kind of thing, some Lincoln,
Lincoln. Okay.
110 proof. I'm not expecting much.
Okay. Well,
Better than mine.
don't undersell yourself there. It wasn't that bad. All right. Darren, you're next.
I got James E. Pepper decanter here.
Okay. Okay.
It was a big cork. It was hard for my little hands to open.
That's close. There was some squeak there. I think you still got it, though. I think you were a little bit better than Kathy's. All right. Next up is Beka.
I've got some Uncle Nearest here.
Okay. Okay, there's our leader. A little slosh there. Use caution for you next time. Green River High Proof, or Full Proof, I guess I should say. Bourbon. All right, let's see what we got here. There's a lot going on there. Lots of noises. None of them explosive enough, though. So Beka wins. Cheers to Beka.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're talking about bourbon caught in the crossfire. We'll do that in just a few. Pew, pew. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Are you starting?
Yeah, of course. This will sound like good conversation for the show.
Jesus.
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Making a damn bumper.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking bourbon and politics.
Yes, we are. So, again, this is going on all over the world, of course, but most notably because it's right here in our backyard, U.S. and Canada. I mean, Jeff is just a stone's throw away.
Stone's throw.
Yeah. If he's in his backyard, there's people yelling about bourbon and stuff like that from across the border there. So,
Get out of my yard.
So, want to talk about this in a non-political way. So again, we just want to talk about why do we think they focused on bourbon? Because there's a lot of products that were hit with tariffs. It wasn't just like, hey, we're going to tariff this, and they came back with, not only tariffs in Canada. But in the bourbon example, and as well as all other distilled spirits, wine and beer, I guess they pulled it from the shelves. So why do we think that Canada, did that? And we don't see them doing other things that they've imported. You don't see them like torching cars and hey, well, here's all your Fords, USA. They didn't do anything. The thing that got selected was bourbon. Why do we think that is?
I have a theory.
Okay.
Because the LCBO is government ran, correct? Mm-hmm. I think that has something to do with it because they're seeing the direct effects of that, and it's not going to hurt. I mean, it's going to hurt
retailers.
Business. Yeah. That's why I think it's happening. I don't know how right
that's a good point. That's probably very right because it's I don't know what we call in the U.S. state controlled, and they're the full on controlled because they you don't own a liquor store there. They own the liquor stores. They own the distribution, and the decision to pull it and not sell it is solely theirs. And they're not impacting. Hey, I'm just a small business owner here. Now you're saying I can't sell this. So that makes sense. That's a good point there.
I like that one, Darren.
One reason that I have heard the Canadians say this is that they were going to target red states. Mm-hmm. And so I think that they maybe kind of looked at what each red state was, exporting to them. And Kentucky was a red state, and bourbon is a big thing.
Okay. Now, that being said, one of the number one things that they have in terms of what they import is California wine, which also got pulled. Would be a blue state. So maybe that's just, as they say, collateral damage. Hey, we're going after this, a big play to get to Kentucky, a red state, and then, but what happens is someone else in a blue state like California gets hurt by it too. So that what Beka said still can be true. It's just that we don't know. There's impact of every action. There's also other impacts too. So.
I just think it's unfortunate just because, the whole thing sucks for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I just think it sucks to have pulled it from the shelves as opposed to just letting it sell out on the shelves.
Right.
Or
continue to let it sell and let people make the decision themselves, right? Just to pay a tariff, the up prices to pay the tariff for it. Yeah.
I just think it's, I feel bad for the Canadians because they're being very negatively affected in that because if it is something that's their drink of choice, that's how they relax after a long day at work, and that's what they prefer is, Kentucky bourbon or any kind of bourbon. It just, it sucks for them because they didn't even get a chance to restock on it or anything like that. It was just gone.
Yeah.
And I think that that's unfortunate. I think that let it sell out and don't reorder it or something. Let people buy up what they want to buy up, but don't just screw them over like that immediately.
Also, pulling orders isn't gonna actually the stuff was still sold to you, and you're still paying for some of it. So pulling orders isn't gonna have as quick of an effect, and you're gonna be sitting on stuff that you can't sell now, which seems
they just
little.
Have to keep it, right?
Yeah, and sit. Unless they're going to start some...
Who has to let it sit? What are you talking about?
Where does it go when they pull it off the shelves is my question.
Warehouses, I would assume.
I would assume, yeah. And again, that they own. Now, the difference is bars. Now, bars also buy from the LCBO, and I assume they're out, but I don't think they have to turn in what they had or anything. So whatever they have in stock, they've got. But I assume they can't buy anymore either. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't want to speak on Canada's behalf because I'm not a Canadian and I don't know. Maybe they have these warehouses of stuff and maybe they'll continue to sell to bars. I don't know. And I don't want to imply that's what's happening, but it potentially could. I don't. Yeah.
Something about this whole thing that is a plus for Canadian distillers. I saw one guy say, now that we can't get bourbon, it's made me go and look for distilleries in Canada that make a bourbon-like product.
Right.
It's not bourbon, but it's made the same way. And so now I'm buying Canadian that is similar to bourbon, just can't have the name on it. So, that is helping expose a lot of distilleries in Canada. So they're getting, their sales should be up, I would imagine. And it's because a lot of people are trying to switch over to that stuff. So,
and they're going through exploration too, right? Yeah. You don't know which one to go to if that's what you haven't been drinking. You've been drinking U.S. bourbon, and now you gotta go on a journey within your own country. So, yeah.
Was this just Ontario?
Yes.
That pulled. That's that. We go up to Ontario. I'm going up in early June, and we can bring in some beer, some alcohol. I just wonder if they're gonna be pulling that.
Yeah, I don't know. You better research that.
Don't bring your favorite drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Or don't bring one that you can't get again anyways.
Yeah. The other provinces are different, Jeff. So they do have like traditional liquor stores and stuff like that, whereas the LCBO owns the entire channel, the distribution channel. So down to retail sales. So yeah.
Hopefully it'll be over soon. But
the Canadians are very mad. We were caught up in a little bit of backlash. We got some death threats. We got some hate calls, a lot of hate emails.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And honestly, I get it. Like, they don't have anyone else that they can retaliate against.
Right.
And like, sometimes you just want to tell your opinion to someone who is part of it. And so I get it. I understand being
frustrated.
Sending emails and just expressing your anger about it, whether it's, to the right person or not. The funniest thing that we got was, you need to talk to your president. And I'm not sure people understand that we do not actually speak to the president. Do not have a direct line.
Right.
We can't do that.
Right.
But I totally understand the frustration and the anger, but sometimes a little bit not in the right direction.
Yeah. Exactly. So again, that's why we don't want to get political. We just want to share, insight on why we think this happened and stuff like that. And we're not part of this. We had no say. We didn't come up with the idea of tariffs or U.S. We have nothing to do with any of this. We're just involved in it to the degree that the Canadian people that are complaining about that are involved from their country's perspective, or what's happened to them in their eyes from the U.S. So we're just like everything.
We're just regular humans.
Exactly.
We're not in politics, and we don't have a say in any of that stuff. And it's, we didn't tell the government to do that. We haven't asked for anything.
We didn't vote on it. It's not like it went out to vote for the masses. We all got behind this, and this is what we want to do. No, it's my dad used to have a great saying, and he would say this all the time. He said, and it very much applies to what's happening right now. And he would talk about this because he was a policeman from the police thing, and he would talk about when the higher ups were arguing. He would say, when giants fight, little people get hurt, and that's exactly what's happening here. Yep. You've got giants. You've got two countries having a pissing contest right now, and who gets hurt by it? There's no impact to our leaders. They're fine. They're going to be just fine with whatever is going on. Who gets hurt by it is the people that want to buy that product that they can't get, or they're mad that their country's been slighted. And so again, it's giants fighting, little people get hurt. And it's
exactly totally like in Prohibition. Guess what? Yeah. The people who were fighting that were for Prohibition were still drinking.
Right.
They were still getting their alcohol.
Yeah.
And not getting in trouble for it, and they weren't getting, nothing bad was happening to them.
Right.
And I would imagine that right now, the stuff that, normal people can't get, or, the price of things, it doesn't matter to them because they're rich. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter. Or that they can still get the stuff that they've banned. I mean,
Right.
that's, the unfortunate part is it
That's just
doesn't
how
actually
it works.
affect them in any way.
Right.
Yeah, I think Darren started. He just said, let the open market deal with it. I know that takes a little time, but apply the tariff and put it on the shelf. And
Yeah.
and
then people can decide themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
let everyone decide, are they going to pay that or not, and let the market deal with it. Yes, it's a significant market changer, but let the market deal with it and see how it shakes out. Because over the long haul, then you'll have special interest groups that can say we need to get rid of this tariff and things like that. So this early stuff, this early news is noise, and
I agree.
But I don't like the fact if there's death threats and stuff like that.
There should be no death threats. That shouldn't be happening. And we don't need this to go further, because if it goes further, it just gets worse. Because, Canada feels like, hey, we're fighting back for ourselves and our country and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they imported $600 million worth of U.S. whiskey. The U.S. imports $900 million worth of one product, Crown Royal, plus all the other stuff. I don't know how much. So if you look at all, it is tit for tat. If we say, hey, Canadian whiskey is now illegal here, and there's a sunset on it, they wouldn't just pull it like they pulled there, because, again, it's small business and stuff like that. But if they put a sunset, you've got until the end of 2025, and then it's gone. Like Cuban cigars, you think, well, they could never do that. Cuban cigars are not legal here. They can do stuff like that, and we don't want that. The Americans, we don't want it. The Canadians don't want it. But let's get past this. Let's figure this stuff out, is all I would say. Again, remaining non-political. I'm not taking one side or the other. I'm just saying the powers that be figure it out, because it's not us. So there you go.
So, Steve, do you know anything about Canadian shipping laws?
They can't ship. They can't. As far they can ship within their province. But
they can't go across province lines.
They can't. So it's not like they can say, "Oh, well, we'll get this from Ottawa or whatever." They can't. So
that's exactly what I was wondering.
Their rules are kind of like ours in that regard. So yeah.
So they took our fund system and thought that was great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the LCBO, when it's up and running, they don't want you shopping, from other provinces. They want you to buy it from home, just like anything else. So it's all just mini versions of each one's a little government that's a mini version of the bigger governments, and that's just how government works. So. There you go. Well, there's just some food for thought. I think we did a good job today, and I think we remained not taking one side or the other, but just kind of explaining the facts and how it happened, why it happened, and where do we go from here. And that's the thing we know least amount, I should say. We'll just have to wait and see. We don't control any of it, so we'll see what happens. All right, we'll wrap this up by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures.
Jeff, how about you?
You can find me sneaking a bottle of the good stuff into Canada. But you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Cigar Dojo. Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
All right, Kathy.
You can find me on Instagram at KK Cask Strength.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.